and just about anything and everything else in between. So we'll start with the one that probably most people know about. Now, if you talk about the Chupacabra in Texas, most people will be familiar with the image of what looks like a large, hairless, rat-like dog. And although that's the sort of the image in Texas we have today, a lot of people don't realise that, a lot of people don't realise that that is the original Chupacabra. The Chupacabra mystery surfaced on Puerto Rico in the 1990s. And Chupacabra is a Spanish term meaning goat sucker. And it got the name because starting in around about 1994, 1995, people began reporting all across Puerto Rico small farm animals killed and drained of blood. And they had these two weird puncture wounds to the necks, which gave it sort of like a vampire type mystique, if you like. And so the term Chupacabra was created. Essentially, the goats were being sucked of blood, and that's where the name came from. And that is pretty much how the witnesses described the Puerto Rican Chupacabra, sort of like a bipedal, almost reptile type creature with a vicious looking row of spikes down its head and neck, kind of like almost like a mohawk, if you like, and running on two legs. So that's very, very different to what people report seeing in Texas today. And I'll come to the Texas one shortly, but it's kind of important to demonstrate how and why this hairless dog-like animal in Texas became known as the Chupacabra. And basically, as I said, it's mainly the kind of attacks that these creatures carried out on Puerto Rico that became translated into the United States, not so much the way the animal looks. And I've been on many expeditions to Puerto Rico investigating the Chupacabra, and on each occasion I've heard these stories where the farm animals, goats, chickens, things like this, as I said, have got two puncture wounds to the neck, or sometimes one to the stomach, and there are claims that the liver has been removed and no other organs at all. Now, if that's true, and they're doing it in this sort of very cunning, stealthy way, that suggests a high degree of intelligence is involved. And so whatever the Puerto Rican Chupacabra is or isn't, it's sort of a distinctly unique animal, which for the most part, for the most part, hasn't been seen anywhere else. But keep that image in mind, because that sort of then takes us to the Texas version, which is a very, very different one, even though it shares an identical name.